are now plugged into Hooked on Science with Bruce and Tom.
What's up, everybody? Welcome to our 50th episode of Hooked on Sonics. What a momentous occasion. I am one of your two hosts, Bruce, and over there is the Tone Capone. And I cannot think of a bigger star to kick this thing off and than Dolly Parton. And we are going to be reviewing her mega album, Rockstar. 30 total tracks and 9 originals and 21 covers. So, getting a little bit of drink news, and that's it. We're gonna dedicate this episode to really going in deep on each of these songs. So, Tone, how are you?
Good evening.
Good evening.
I am good this evening, as always.
Absolutely.
Yeah, man, we're gonna go over this really monumental release from Dolly Parton, Rockstar album. Like you said, 30 tracks, 21 covers, 9 originals. This is definitely a very interesting album. I'm excited to go over it with the 10 people that we've got out there watching. And
We're up to 10. How about that?
I think there's 10. I think there's 10. I may have miscounted. We still might be at 8.5. Um,
We have a midget out there as a listener. I like it.
well, we don't call them that. We call them
Oh,
little people.
man, I'd
Is that what
much
they
rather
call
be
them?
called a midget.
I don't know about all that. Anyways, with that
Vertically
be
challenged.
with that being said, um, yeah, this is going to be a great album. One thing I would like to state before we get into this is, this may not be your type of album, but I really feel like there's something on this album for everybody. Um, if you're an avid music listener, there may be something on here for you. You may want to check this out. I know that I didn't know what to expect going into this album, but I was pleasantly surprised with some of the stuff that came off of this. Some of the collaborations were really nice. Once again, Bruce and I, we've talked earlier about how some of these songs are going to be sacred to some people and they're not going to be received well. You're going to hear about some of that from us. But other than that, man, this is a good album. This is going to be a good album review, man. I really
Mm-hmm.
think this is going to be a really, really good album review. And if you like what you see here, please hit that like, comment, subscribe. Let us know what your favorite tracks are off the album, and we'll look forward to hearing your guys' takes on any of these tracks. But thank you, and stay tuned because we're bringing it to you. Bruce, do you seem to have a before we get down to the meat and potatoes of this,
Mm-hmm.
you seem to have a the album, the collector's album for this. You want to show that off real quick and show what comes with the vinyl?
Yeah, absolutely. So I got the 4 LP version, purple vinyl. There were multiple covers of this album. Couple different releases. Cracker Barrel has a 2 CD release of it. And I've got one of the alternative covers. This right here, Rockstar, very well put together, real slick. Don't know if you can see the real detail in that. They put a lot of effort in the embossing and just general sturdiness of this. Inside, you will see really cool lyric book with tons of pictures of all the different outtakes of each cover. I'm going to turn around here. Yeah, lots of different pictures, all the lyrics, all the shout outs. Um, yeah, really cool stuff here. Um,
Nice.
yeah, each of the album sleeves um, is a picture of Dolly, and then on the back, show the vinyl here. Beautiful purple. It looks blue, but I swear it's purple. It's album 2. Really cool there. And for 77, it's a lot of work to be that good. Right there. Yeah, so really cool presentation on this. They did not chintz out at all. They phenomenal art direction on this.
Nice,
Yeah, dude.
nice. Cool. What are you drinking this week, man?
Well, sir, I have busted out an old favorite, Bird Dog's peanut butter whiskey, and I have mixed that with most people would be like, what? A&W root beer.
Oh,
Tastes really good.
really?
Mm-hmm.
How many of those you gonna put back?
As many as it takes to get through this album. We've got 30 tracks, 2.5 hours. Let's do it. I may be incoherent at the end of everything, but
Understandable. Me, in the spirit of our season of losing the pounds, Tone is doing the hazy, alcohol-free,
Mhm.
brew dog. What do you give that? What do you give that Bird Dog whiskey, man?
I'm gonna give it give me a 3.8.
You know what? You're pretty close to what I got on this. It's about a 4. I like these, man. They taste really good, and with only 20 calories, 2.8 carbs.
Mm-hmm.
Uh, this is a nice alternative when you're trying to avoid the alcohol or getting drunk, or just you want the taste of a beer without all the other BS that comes with it.
Yep.
So,
Very cool. Brewdog makes some good stuff for sure.
and you know what they do.
Mm-hmm.
And if you haven't tried their alcohol-free stuff, man, I don't think you can get it down there, can you?
No.
Man, you gotta pick some up and take it back with you. Some of this alcohol-free stuff, dude. Take a couple cases back home, and they'll come in handy, man. They will
Okay.
come in handy.
Yeah, absolutely. Cool. Well, listen, now that we've both wetted our whistles, are we ready to get into this megasaurus of an album?
Let's do it.
All right. Dolly Parton's Rockstar released November 17th of last year, 2023. Um, like we said earlier, 30 tracks, 9 originals, 21 covers with a myriad of guests. And then we're going to go through each guest as we go through each track there. Let's see. First up, we have the title track, Rockstar, featuring Richie Sambora on guitars. Tony, you started off. What did you think?
You know what? I'll tell you what. I gave this an A. I thought it was a great opener. I liked it. My only complaint would be, the what seemed like the forced intro work on the song. The little scene.
Yeah.
I'm going to be a rock star. So
Yeah.
But other than that, given the song on its own merit, as far as an opener goes, I think it's a great opener. Kind of introduces what you're going to get yourself into and on the album. So,
yeah, I'm glad that she started off with one of her originals. Richie Sambora's guitar work in this was really good. Everything you'd expect out of Richie. I'm with you. The little day, or the little going back in the Wayback Machine, and Dolly as a kid and her parents telling her, quit listening to that rock and roll and all that shit. Not needed. It was dumb. Sounded goofy. And it kind of hindered the song for me. The actual song is fantastic, but that intro was not good. I gave this song a B just because of the intro.
yeah, I gave it an A. I didn't ding it too bad for the intro. I figured it's to be expected because she's introducing herself, into this. She set the scene. You know what I mean?
Yep.
That's basically what that was all about. So,
Yep.
all right, moving on.
All right. Second track is the first single, "World on Fire." Great lyrical content here, very poignant, especially with what's going on in this world today. And it's all about coming together. Like, look, we're all gonna fucking fall if we don't get our shit together.
Yeah.
Really, really great put together song. I ended up giving this song an A. Again, lyrical content, very poignant. Just production value, fantastic.
Yeah. I ended up giving it an A and marked it as a standout track on the album. This is one of my favorite tracks on the album. I just think the message was really, really good.
Mm-hmm.
I think the way that, she really put it out there, and her vocal work on here really did sound really, really good. And for it being original, I mean, this woman going out and doing an original at 77 years old, you said?
Yep.
I mean, she's just man. That's just God, man. It's a good track. It's a great track, to be honest with you. And I think it's a great track that they used for a single. If you said they singled that, yeah, standout track for me, man. So
Yep. Absolutely. All right. Next up, we have Every Breath You Take with Sting. What'd you think?
I listened to this track once before, and I thought it was good. And then I listened to it a second time, and that don't get to happen often because I was kind of scanning through this album earlier when it dropped, but I didn't really kind of go through it. And this one became a standout track for me, man. I give it an A, man.
Yeah.
I dug it. I do not think Sting's vocals were needed on the track. I think she carried the track very well on her own, but I really do like that Sting came in and just kind of complimented her vocal work really well. He didn't need to, I felt there were often times throughout the album there were other artists that tried to really go, well, this is my song, and Dolly ain't going to outshine me.
Yeah.
I mean, did you ever get any feeling on any of that stuff on the album?
Um, as we go through it, let me think about it.
Yeah.
Nothing's coming off the top of my head,
I'm
but
not
I'm
saying
gonna
there
keep that in my
I'm
head.
not saying there was a ton of it, man, but like I don't know, dude. It's just I thought this was a good track. Of all the cover stuff, man, this was one of my favorite of the covers, man, because Sting really kind of just laid back in the cut and let her do her thing.
Okay. I gave it a B. It's not one of my favorite songs anyway. Um, it was they did really good. Sting wasn't needed, in my opinion. He didn't really add much to it. You know, background or the harmonies and stuff. He did okay. He did good on them, but wasn't needed. But I get it. It's a B. It's not terrible at all.
Okay.
All right, next up we have Open Arms with Steve Perry from Journey.
Once again, we get into the topic of discussion of sacred songs. It's a sacred song for me. I am a Journey fan. We know that you are not a Journey fan.
Nope.
With this being said, I was not with this. I think the off timing and the way they brought in Steve Perry on vocals was not a lot of not what I was looking for, man.
Yeah.
Not what I was looking for. And I've waited a long time to hear that man sing those words ever again, you know.
Yep.
Um, but it sounds good, don't get me wrong. Some people are going to like it. Some people who hold it, oh man, that's just even just this little change is too much.
Yeah.
But I gave it a B.
Yep. I gave it an A. The only ding I would kind of give to it is, um, was it middle or almost to the end of the song, where they're kind of going back and forth, like an echo. It sounded off. It didn't add anything. It wasn't good. I like the age that's in Steve Perry's voice. Um, I think they really did a great job, and Dolly's about the only one that can make me actually like a Journey song. She did a great job on it. They both did. Just that little back and forth stuff towards the end I didn't like, but I still ended up giving it an A.
Okay.
Yeah. Let's see. Yeah, what is next? We've got Magic Man, the Carl version with Ann Wilson, lead singer from Heart. What'd you think?
I gave it an A, man.
Mm-hmm.
I dug it. I dug it. I really, really did dig it. And when they started harmonizing in the end of this song, her and Ann Wilson,
Mm-hmm.
I was all about it, man. I gave it an A. I'm not going to tell you it's a standout track, but I gave it an A, man. It was a definite solid effort, man. It was a good track.
Yeah. I definitely gave it a A. It was a standout track for me. And again, them two paired together was just top notch. No, I mean, just a wonderful song. I love the, how they made it to where it was the mom story and the daughter story. Just great song. A for me.
Yeah,
Mm-hmm. Let's see. Next, we have Long as I Can See the Light with John Fogerty.
absolute standout track on this album.
Yeah.
Him and her vocalizing was a match made in heaven. This is a killer track. I would love to see her do other shit. And some of that would be I would love to hear her attempt at a Bad Mood Rising
Mm-hmm.
and Who Will Stop the Rain
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
with Fogerty, man. I think that'd be I think I'd love to hear the attempt at that, man. And I
No, I
wonder,
completely agree.
when they picked out these songs for her album, if they said, well, which one would you like to do, or these ones that she picked, or ones the artist said, well, this is one I'll do with you.
Yeah. Yeah. I
You
would
know,
love to be a fly on the wall as those, negotiations were going on. So
yeah.
yeah, but again, I don't think I've ever actually heard the Credence version of this. So is this was a really great surprise. A plus and standout track, top three track maybe on this.
Yeah, easily.
Yep. Next up we have either or with Kid Rock. This is an original. Um, Tony, go ahead.
I gave it an A. I dug it. I found it to be kind of groovy, and I found my self just kind of nodding my head to it and having a good time with it. And I was just like, you know what? Yeah, fuck it. It's cool, pretty cool little tune.
Mm-hmm.
So I gave it an A, man. Anything that gets me, kind of moving and going, hey, yeah, I can feel that groove.
Yep. I gave it a C plus. If this was anyone else singing this, I would really liked it a lot better. The the story in the song didn't fit these two. It's not believable to me that Dolly Parton and Kid Rock's together. But for me, I have to have that. It didn't mesh. Um, but if anyone else was singing this song, or even if they sang a different song together, I probably, I would have liked it. I like Kid Rock a lot. This was a no go for me, really. So C plus, but it was a groovy song. I just didn't like them singing it.
Okay.
Okay, next up we have "I Want You Back," another original that Dolly wrote with Steven Tyler from Aerosmith.
I gave it a B, man.
Hmm.
I just was not on, not, this could be a skippable track for me.
Interesting.
Just because it didn't really stand out to me. Wasn't nothing against them two or how they worked well together or whatever. It just wasn't a standout track for me. It wasn't really anything I thought was, I want to hear that again.
Yeah.
You know,
Yeah.
I'm not going to dog it and give it a C or a D. I'm not going to tell you it's a bad track, but it's just it wasn't for me.
Yeah. I really enjoyed it. I gave it an A. I think them two together was really nice. It was a good song. It was a good old fashioned cheat and revenge song. Who doesn't love those? Um, especially if you've been cheated on or got some revenge. Yeah, I really like this song. And it's good to hear Steven Tyler still got it.
Good,
Yeah,
good.
I liked it. All right,
What?
next
Who?
up,
Huh?
what? Huh?
What?
All right.
Oh yeah. Oh
Huh?
yeah. Oh
Uh-huh.
yeah. Are y'all here? Are you here?
Pas
Are y'all
casa.
here? Are y'all here? Are here? No, you're gonna go here. Over here?
Thank you, Bobby Boucher.
Uh-uh.
What has rock and roll ever done for you with Stevie Nicks?
What has it done?
Everything.
I gave it a name, man. I dig the track. I dig the way they worked together on this one. Um and I'm always going to be a Stevie Nicks fan, man. Just my older sister and my mom or my stepmom were like huge Stevie Nicks fans, and I'm gonna tell you, man, I dug it. I dug it.
Cool. Uh, Not so much for me. I think I've listened to the original. It was one of Stevie Nicks' solo stuff back in the mid '80s, where that cocaine was running high. This is not a good song. They sound good together. They put a lot of lipstick on this pig. They made the song listenable as compared to the original.
But you do know
Uh,
why they use this song, right?
I don't.
So it fits the theme.
I guess I would.
Rockstar. What has
Yeah,
rock and roll ever done for you?
I get it. I just terrible song. I would have loved to hear them sing something Fleetwood Mac, like fucking Silver Springs or something. Not that. It was bad. I gave this a shit. I gave it a C minus. Gave it a C
Okay.
minus. I thought I gave it a D, but no, it's a C minus. I like the banter between them. I like the, you know, I like their voices together. It's just not a good song.
Yeah. No, I get it. I get it. All right. Number 10.
Number 10, we have Purple Rain. No special guest on this that I know of. And boy, didn't need it.
Hey, she slayed the track, man. I'm gonna give that an A plus. It's not a standout track for me, but the reason why it gets the plus is because we talked about this off air. This album could be broken up in 3 different volumes
Mhm.
and consumed in 10 tracks apiece. This ending the first volume would have been the stamp on volume 1
Mhm.
because it was that good.
Yep.
So that's just my opinion.
Hmm. No, I completely agree with you. Production on this was out of this world. Um, Orchestration, the just every little nuance was there. This is one of those sacred songs that, like, if you fuck it up, you're gonna hear about it. And she gave it its proper respect and did a phenomenal job with it.
I think so too.
Yep. Yep. All right. Starting track 11, we have Baby I Love Your Way with Peter Frampton. Go ahead.
Gave this a B, man.
Mm,
Just the way that the timing fell off when these guys were kind of going back and forth on this,
yep.
it did not mesh together well for me. I had high hopes for this when I saw it on the album, and it just did not meet those expectations. Um, Nothing against them personally and what they did vocally, man. It just the the back and forth thing didn't seem to go over well. And I didn't care for it, man. It's I gave it a B. I could easily give this a C, but the effort was there.
Hmm.
Um, it's just it missed the mark, man, and that's why I give it a B.
Yeah. I actually gave it an A. To your point, the timing was a little off when Peter was coming in. Did a great job as far as harmonies and things like that. But again, that little back and forth, that repeating shit didn't work. It
Yeah,
just didn't work and it wasn't needed. His guitar playing was still great. It's great to hear him do that. I didn't ding it as bad as you did. Like I said, I think I gave it a hold on. I lost my track.
you gave it
I
an
gave it
A.
an A. I gave it an A. It could have been a B, but I'm sticking with the A, because it didn't irritate me. It didn't irritate me as much as some other stuff. So,
Okay.
all right. Now, talk about something that irritated the shit out of me. I hate myself for loving you with Joan Jett.
I gave this a B. The intro piece not needed. You and I discussed that.
It
That
ruined
whole
it.
it just that whole intro piece was not needed. They worked together very well on the track. I don't think the track in itself was horrible, but man, the length and the discussion of that intro piece was just, it felt so unorganic.
Yeah. Oh, very forced, very. Ugh.
And
Hey, Joan.
I didn't dig it, dude.
No,
I didn't dig it.
no. And do you don't you hate it when you hate yourself? It's like, oh God, are we listening to Dr. Phil? Get out of here. And then during the chorus, where Joan Jett is singing the chorus, and Dolly comes in with, "Yeah, I hate myself." So she absolutely screwed the pooch on this thing. For me, I gave it a D. It was an absolute D. Again,
Yeah.
Joan Jett didn't do. Dolly actually ruined this song. This performance was bad
Okay.
for me.
Okay.
All right, coming up next, making some night moves.
I gave this a standout track, dude.
Hmm.
I love Chris Stapleton. I really want to do a deep dive on this guy. I think the guy really fucking sings from the heart. The guy is a phenomenal singer. And the way they worked together on this one, I dug it, dude. I'm a little stunned that Bob Seger didn't want to do a track with her, or however that
Yeah,
panned out. That kind of weirds me out. But Chris Stapleton, I dig it. You know what I mean?
yep.
So
I would have loved Bob on this, or them singing something else together. Like maybe her and Bob singing "Turn the Page."
eh,
Maybe I like it. Anyway, uh, the I gave this thing a C plus. I needed more Chris Stapleton in this. Dolly did a great performance. She did a great job on her part, but Chris Stapleton was very underutilized in this, and I think it could have used some more of him. So that was a really big letdown for me. C plus.
okay.
That's why it is. Okay, here we go. Wrecking Ball with Miley Cyrus. Dude.
Dude, you brought this up to
Dude.
me a while back, and I will tell you, hands down, this is probably one of the top, if not the best track on the album. I mean, it's definitely in the top three, top five. This is a phenomenal track. They did so well on this together. And I'm not a Miley Cyrus fan. Do I look like a Miley Cyrus fan? I'm
A
not.
little bit.
My kids grew up watching Hannah Montana and all that good stuff, and I'm familiar with who Miley Cyrus is. So, but at the end of the day, man, this is a phenomenal track. Why this is not a single and out there on the airwaves is beyond me.
This absolutely should be an absolute number one radio hit all over again. Yeah. Huge miss there on Dolly's promo team. This absolutely should have been, if not the first single, the second single for sure.
Yeah,
Absolute phenomenal song. A plus all day long. And probably my favorite track on this album.
yeah, it's a
Yep.
phenomenal track.
Yep. All right. Coming up, we've got Satisfaction with Pink and Brandy Carlisle.
Love the woman choice on this album. Love all these females on this album. Absolutely love it. However, I don't think this is the right Dolly Parton track, man, for the Stones. And I didn't really care for it as much as some of the other stuff on the album. Once again, this gets dinged with a B, man.
So I'll ding it. I'll ding it one worse. I'll give it a C. You know what was missing on here? Keith Richards. That guitar work, that riff was so neutered. It was awful. Like the vocals were there, but neutered, neutered that riff.
Maybe that's something that I didn't pick up on, but it kind of turned me off for the song. Maybe that's what it is, man.
Well, think about it. Okay, so the riff goes bum 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 bum. This riff on this song was bum 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 bum. See, there's not a flair to it. It's just
Right.
huge letdown. Huge letdown. Because Pink and Brandy Carlisle both phenomenal voices. And just what a waste. What a waste.
Yeah.
But it was good to hear all three of them together. That was cool.
I wouldn't disagree with you there. I wouldn't disagree with you, but I'm telling you, it was just not the. To me, it would get a skip.
Yep. I agree. Let's see. Next up, we have "Keep on Loving You" with Kevin Cronin. Now, forgive me because I'm running a blank. Who originally did this? Who was Kevin Cronin with? Was that REO Speedwagon?
Good job.
Okay, thank you.
Yes, good song. I gave it
Yeah.
an A.
I gave it a B.
I gave it an A. It was a solid attempt at it. Not quite a standout track, but a solid, definitely a
Yeah.
solid.
Yeah, I wouldn't skip it, but it's not one of my favorites.
Okay.
Well, yeah, it was fine. Heart of Glass with Blondie, Debbie Harry.
Dude, I gave this an A, and part of me is sitting here saying, going back through my memory bank of the album, part of me is saying this is almost a standout track because it worked. Like, I don't know how, but it worked.
Let me ask you this. Did you have a hard time differentiating from their two voices?
At points.
Yeah, I did too.
At points. And I was just like, wow.
Yeah. At points.
So yeah, dude, that's why I kind of want to give it like a standout track because like it was good. It was a really good track, dude.
Yeah, very natural. It felt like a natural song for Dolly. Yeah. And it stuck very close to the original.
Very.
So yeah, I'm with you. I gave it an A as well. Yeah,
and could quite possibly be a standout track because it did mesh together so well.
Interesting. I don't know if I would put it as a standout track, but it was really good.
Dude, here's the thing. For knowing what that song is and listening to it for decades, you know what I mean? Let's just call it what it is. They did.
Oh yeah. Yep. Really good job. Really good job.
Dude, that could hit the airwaves and I would have been fooled. Like, oh, is this some different version? Because like one of the things I can tell you, do you remember when Justin Timberlake's album dropped?
Yeah.
I was working in Pizza Hut or Papa John's at the time, and I swore, I was like, is this a new Michael Jackson album? Do you remember those kind of references with that album?
Yeah.
And it's just like, whoa, like anyways, but no, man, Heart of Glass, pretty going back through my memory banks, man, I was really super impressed with that track, dude. So
yeah. No, I really liked it. Let's see. Next up, Don't Let the Sun Go Down on Me with Elton John.
I gave it an A, but I want to say Elton's vocals seemed very
rough.
Very off, man. And I'm asking myself, just going back, is it because of his age? Because he's obviously up there, you know what I mean?
Mhm.
But and we know that he's retiring. It's a done deal for him. But yeah, man, I didn't quite recognize his voice, man. It kind of threw me off.
Yeah.
But I still gave it. I mean, if that's where his voice is at, as old as he may be,
Mhm.
nothing but respect.
Yeah. They definitely produced this like an epic. It is an epic song. It is a beautiful song. I dinged it a little bit because of Elton's vocals. I gave it a B. Um, it wasn't needed. He really wasn't needed. Again, if they would have said, okay, special guest Elton John and playing piano, great. But I think he did a disservice to the song. And again, I'm not saying it in a bad way. It's just that's where he's at right now, and you know, it's just it wasn't great. But I really liked Dolly's vocals on it, and I liked the production on it. Just yeah, that's where I'm at with that. Okay.
Not bad, not
All
bad.
right.
All right,
Okay.
moving on.
Yes, sir. We've got another original. Um, Tried to rock and roll me with Melissa Etheridge.
Loved it.
Yeah.
Love this track. I think they worked very well together.
Yeah.
Absolutely phenomenal, phenomenal, phenomenal together.
Yeah.
This got an A. Could be a standout track. The phenomenal, phenomenal, phenomenal track. I want Kate to hear this song.
Yeah.
I think she'd really like this song.
Yeah.
I think Kate's going to like this album. I'm going to pick it up for her.
You should.
Yeah.
You should. Uh, I'm a big Melissa Etheridge fan. I don't like everything that she does, but man, that Yes I Am album from what, 92, 93 or whatever.
Well,
Fantastic.
hey,
And
dude,
this,
she gets down, dude.
yeah,
She
dude.
she gets down.
And she could still sing. She could still fucking get it. Um, what a great song. I gave it an A as well.
Yeah.
And it's a good written song. And I don't think Dolly gets enough credit as a songwriter
Yeah.
from mainstream. Country people know it. They've known it for years, but mainstream, they don't realize how good of a songwriter she is.
Yeah.
Yep. Let's see. Next, we've got Stairway to Heaven with Lizzo, and apparently her flute has to have its own special designation as well. Sasha flute. Go ahead.
Once again, once again,
Mm-hmm.
one of those songs that are sacred.
Mm-hmm.
Dolly's vocals were pretty good on this.
Mm-hmm.
As far as everything else, I wasn't so happy with. I dinged this thing and gave it a B.
Hmm.
Could have been a C.
Hmm.
Could have been a C.
What was missing for you?
Jimmy Page.
Mm. Yeah.
Sorry.
Yeah.
Sorry.
I get it. The
Sorry.
flute was nice, but it's not fucking Jimmy Page.
Listen, I'm not knocking the flute. Please
I'm
understand.
knocking the flute.
I'm not knocking the flute at all.
You afraid Sasha's going to come after you?
I give two shits. I'm not knocking the flute. I just think the guitar playing could have been so much more.
Mm-hmm.
And once again, I'm not going to ding Lizzo. I'm not going to ding Dolly. They did their parts. They did their job. It's just, it's one of those sacred songs, dude. You just and there's a reason why you can't play. It's the forbidden riff.
Mm-hmm.
Guitar Center and shit, dude. Don't ever walk into a Guitar Center and play that riff. You'll get your ass thrown right out, dude. Never be invited back, dude. Don't do it. Don't do it, dude. Don't do it. Don't do it.
Don't do
Look at
it.
your wheels are already spinning.
Hmm.
No, don't do it.
I gave this version, I gave it an A. I will say, Jimmy Page has definitely missed on this, and she's actually got a better version of this. She did a bluegrass album. Shit, it's probably been 10, 15 years ago now, called Halos and Horns. And she did a much better version of Stairway on that album. Much better version. Um, there was something missing on this. I couldn't really figure it out until you said it. Yeah, Jimmy. Needed Jimmy. So, but I still gave it an A. She did really good, but there was something missing. Yep, I'll give you that. Next up, We Are the Champions with a little bit of We Will Rock You. Go ahead.
This is a B. It could have been
Yeah.
a C. The attempt was very good, and that's why I'm giving it the B. I don't like how they did this. I would have really liked to have heard her sing because I was really into the "We Are the Champions" part, and then it got into the fucking "We Will
We Will
Rock You"
Rock You.
bit, and I'm just like, I wanted to hear her go, "Johnny, you're a boy, make a big noise, make it, and I take on the world." I was waiting for it, dude. I was
Yep.
like, come on, Dolly, get in there and get it, dude.
Yep.
And it didn't happen, and it's just like,
Yeah, my take is if you're gonna list that out as a separate piece of We Will Rock You, you should do more than just We Will Rock You.
yeah,
I like how they flipped it. I liked how they kind of, because normally We Will Rock You starts and then um, We Are the Champions is at the end. I
yeah,
like the little switch up there. I wish there was more of We Will Rock You.
yeah.
Yeah, little missed opportunity there. Definitely, I'm with you. Give it a B.
I gave it a B.
Mm-hmm. All right, coming up, we've got another original, Bygones with Rob Halford.
Oh, come on. Are you
What?
forgetting anybody else on the track?
I didn't remember. Go ahead.
Are you
I
serious,
really
dude?
don't remember.
I am going to reach through this screen and smack the shit out of you. John 5 and Nikki 6.
Really? Okay.
Rob Halford, John 5, and Nikki 6 are on this track from what I read. So let me tell you something, man. This is my favorite track on the whole album.
Really?
This and the John Fogerty track, or
Hmm.
like this, John. I'll tell you what, top 3 so far. John Fogerty tune, Long as I Can See the Light, Bygones, and Wrecking Ball.
Nice.
Those are where I rank
Yep.
number 3
Sure
so far.
should. Yeah. Some bitch. Yeah, John 5 is on there. My bad.
Yeah,
Huh.
dude, and I knew that Rob Halford had did a track with her, and I knew that he was excited about doing the track with her. I read an article on her or some shit, dude. And I'm telling you, man, I was looking for of all the tracks I was looking forward to, that one did not disappoint, man. That one was that's a great fucking track, dude. Why is that? Why is that not a single?
Yeah. I think it was. Now I'm thinking about it. I think it was like the third single.
Oh man, that's a great track, dude.
Yeah. Um, I enjoyed it. I'm not a huge Rob Halford fan, but it was a good song. It was a good song. I gave it a B. Um, yeah, just really solid. It's really solid. For me, it's not a standout track. But it's a good rock song. Damn
Yeah.
good rock song. Yep.
All right.
All right. Next up, we got My Blue Tears with Simon Le Bon,
So,
and that's an original.
and that is an original of hers. She's done, I guess, a couple times before. And Simon Le Bon is the singer for Duran Duran.
Yes.
So I will tell you personally, I gave it an A, man.
Yep.
I thought it was a great run. I thought it was a very good song. That could easily be a single as well.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Beautiful. Beautiful. Um, very, again, for my homeland, very Scottish, very Irish, very, yeah, I really enjoyed it. Really enjoyed it. A for me. Next up, we've got one of my favorite songs just in general. What's Up with Linda Perry, the founder and lead vocalist for Four Non Blondes. This is pretty much their one-hit wonder. Linda did some guitars. She did the guitar work on this. She also showed this was another single, and they did a video for this. Um, I really enjoyed the shit out of it. It doesn't have that angst that the original does, because
I
that's not Dolly's thing.
Yep.
But she did a really good job on this. Really good job. Um, I gave it an A.
I gave it a B
Okay.
just because the angst.
Yeah.
It didn't have the oomph. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
It had Dolly's light touch, and that song speaks to me in a different manner than that. You know what I mean?
Yeah. No, you're right. You're right. It was different. If that was anyone else singing it, I probably would have given it a B too. But yeah, Dolly got a little home field advantage on that, I think.
Okay.
Okay.
Track
Next.
25. Track 25.
Man, we're barreling through these things. You're No Good with Sheryl Crow and Emmylou Harris.
What's your take?
Again, there is something from the production, from the arrangement part of this, something was missing. Um, I I always say this. Emmylou Harris has a fantastic, beautiful, wonderful voice, but I can't stand any of her songs. It's just something about her songs are trash. Sheryl Crow, come on. Awesome. But there was something missing on this song. It was kind of a throwaway for me. I gave it a C.
I gave it an A, man. I
Hmm.
gave it an A and a standout track. I loved it.
Wow.
Absolutely loved it, dude.
Hmm.
That's a classic song to me, done with three very classic ladies.
Mm-hmm.
That fuck, man. Hell yeah, I loved it.
Yeah.
Sorry that you didn't, man. I loved it.
Yeah. Again, individuals, I like them a lot. Just something was missing on this. It's a throwaway track for me.
All right, track 26.
Heartbreaker with Pat Benatar and Neil Girardi.
I liked it.
Yeah.
I gave it an A.
I
I
didn't
gave
go
it an
that
A.
high.
I liked it.
I gave it a B. Again, and here's I think part of what's going on with this album for me is fatigue. So I'm starting to get into this album and I'm looking at here, I'm like, fatigue.
That's why I say it should have released it in three separate components, or volume
Yeah.
1, volume 2, volume 3. Man,
Yeah.
it's a lot to chew. It's a
Yeah.
lot. So keep that in mind, guys. 30 tracks. It's a lot to chew.
Mm-hmm.
You are
Yeah.
getting a lot for your money. Don't get it wrong, but it's still to sit down and listen to this album. It's some time, man. And
Mm-hmm.
you're going to have some favorites. You're going to have some non-favorites, but it's a lot to chew. It
Mm-hmm.
really, really is.
Yeah. Yep. Let's see. Ooh, next. Hot take time. Bittersweet. Another original with Michael McDonald.
I gave it a B. It is what it is. I would skip this track. It could be a C, but
I
I didn't see anything super wrong with the track. It's just no. I
I
would.
yeah. I gave it an F.
Oh, that's
This
brutal.
was absolute trash. Trash. Michael McDonald could fuck up a fucking pancake. Like, he's awful. He, Oh, I mean that's about accurate.
Uh,
Brutal. If I never hear his voice again, yeah, I couldn't be happier. Fucking trash.
dude, I grew up around that shit, so I get it. I get
Ugh.
it.
Boy, moving on from that fucking disaster. I dreamed about Elvis with Ronnie McDowell.
Is this an original?
This was an original. Ronnie McDowell was real popular in the 70s, I think. And people compared him a lot to Elvis and stuff like that. He's got some really good hits. Stand up, gentlemen. And this was a fun song. This was a fun song. Um, Storytelling song where Dolly has a dream and she's met up with Elvis and all this stuff. Real funny. And then they end it with "I Will Always Love You," a real, fun, upbeat version of it. So good. I gave this an A. I love this song.
I gave it an A as well, man. I thought it
Yeah.
was a really fun song, really cool song. Uh, very cool fucking jam, man. Just a really cool concept of a song. I loved it.
Yep. All right. Well, I think we are down to our last two songs from the original release. This song was also released as a single, and it was "Let It Be" with Paul McCartney and Ringo Starr. Go ahead.
I liked it. I gave it
Yeah.
an A.
Yep.
I gave it an A. I don't think in any way there was any disrespect done to the song. I think it turned out very well. Um, I'm I'm here for it, man. I thought it was a really good put together.
No, completely agree. It was great that the last surviving Beatles were in on it. I like Paul's contributions to it. Um, just and again, it's a fantastic song. It's one of my favorite Beatles songs. Um, yeah, beautiful. A all day, A all day. And then last but not least, Free Bird with um, vocals by Ronnie Van Zant and Gary Rossington was on this, and Artemis Pyle's band, the Artemis Pyle band, filled out the rest. I really liked it. I like that there was rumors going around that they were trying to get Ronnie's voice used in it, and there was you know legal shit going on with it. I was really glad that they were able to add that to it. It didn't seem out of place. It didn't seem weird or anything like, that's good. I really enjoyed it.
I did not. This was probably my least favorite track on the album.
Wow.
I gave it a C. I
Hold
did
on.
not.
Wait, real quick, real quick. You disliked Freebird worse than Bittersweet?
Bittersweet was just what it was. Bittersweet. But anyways, no,
Yeah.
dude, I didn't like the arrangement at all. I
Mm,
absolutely hated it. Her yelling, I'm a free bird in the end and shit, dude.
mm,
That shit ain't working for me, dude.
yeah.
It wasn't working for me, dude. I'm just like, no, no. I'm almost positive if my dad heard that, it would probably piss him off. Because my dad is a huge Leonard Skinner fan,
Yeah.
and it did not work for me, dude.
Yeah, it's not as raw and aggressive and stuff. Um, but I think for me it worked.
It did not work
Um,
for me.
yeah.
No, it did not work for me.
I think it's a great closer. I think song wise, it's a
I
great
think
choice for a closer.
I think it made sense for being a closer. Not to mention if it once again if we did this in volumes,
Mm-hmm.
volume one would end at Purple Rain. Volume two would end at um, Stairway to Heaven.
Mm-hmm.
Volume three would end at Freebird. That makes sense. All that
Yeah.
makes sense. You know,
Yep.
phenomenal songs. Any one of those songs could be, you know, the greatest rock song of all time. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
With that being said, there was some extra tracks on
Okay.
some other releases. I don't know that you got to hear any of them.
I did not.
So going out there, I know there's a version of Jolene I think is done with Monoskin. I haven't listened to that. There's a couple other things, but one of the ones that intrigued me most was an Eddie Money cover of Two Tickets to Paradise.
Mm-hmm.
Total fucking miss, man.
Oof.
Brutal. It hurt to listen to it.
What was off about it?
Everything.
Everything.
It was horrible, dude. Absolutely horrible. I really wish she would not have done that. Like it's her business, her life, man. But this is I can
Just wasn't
understand.
good.
I can understand why it wasn't included on the main album.
Yeah. Now, did she do that with anyone?
I don't know.
Okay.
I didn't. Once I got to hearing it, man. Like once you hear the intro, you're gonna be like, oh man.
Okay. Eddie's
It's
dead, correct?
yeah, dude.
Eddie, yeah.
Yeah. You ever see him?
No.
I did. I got to see him at the casino for free.
Nice.
And me and my dad and Kate all went, and he was not doing so well, man. But at the end of
Yeah.
the day, I got to see him, and it was a good show. I had a good
Yeah.
time and reliving some. He had so many great hits, man.
Mm-hmm.
So many fucking great hits. We used to have a local band here in Columbus that would play shaking fucking like on the money, dude. And the guy
Yeah.
would play. You remember that new guitar I just picked up, the Mockingbird?
Mm-hmm.
This guy had an all fucking wood, like Koa fucking Mockingbird, man, an elite fucking US model that he used to play with. I see it fucking, oh God, man. And then this dude would get up there and get it, man.
Nice.
But, so yeah, man, like it definitely, fatigue definitely sets in on this album.
Mm-hmm.
It becomes a lot to listen to. It becomes a lot to chew. So with that being said, I mean, I think it's about time we take our overall rating. And what would you give this thing, man?
I do listen to this album still quite a bit.
But
Um,
you're not listening to all 30 tracks.
no, there's definitely some skips in here. Satisfaction, Bittersweet, um, um, the one with Jones Jett, Hate Myself for Loving You. Those are definitely skippables. I can't see me giving it less. I'm gonna give. Uh, I'm gonna give it an 8.5. Yeah, I'm
Ouch.
sticking with 8.5. Maybe a 9. Like I'm.
Ouch.
Yeah,
Are you
it's not.
serious?
Yeah, it's not a perfect album. It's a phenomenal album. I
Ah.
just can't. I can't give it a 10. I love this album a lot. I'll give it a 9.
You're giving it a 9.
I'm giving it a 9. But
That's your
the
final offer.
9 is my final offer. The stuff on here that I think is bad, it's just bad. And I can't give it a perfect 10.
There's a lot of good stuff on here, and then there's a lot of stuff like I'm not going to go back to this album. I'm not.
Right. I wouldn't expect you to.
It's just too much fatigue on this for me, man. And like even the tracks that stood out, they're not something I would catch myself listening to every day.
Yeah. But damn, they're good.
But man, what's on here is really, really good. So for me, it's just like I can't give it an 8 because an 8 means I would listen to it again.
Hmm.
I would seek out more. But I can't give it a fucking, you know, a shit score because it's a bad album. It's not a bad album.
Break your own rules.
I don't know what to say on this thing, man. I'm straight up, because of the fatigue, because there was so many different nuances throughout the albums, and some of those songs held sacred were kind of, you know, more or less not my cup of tea. I'm giving it a 7.
Okay.
I'm giving it a 7. I can't. There's good stuff on here. As far as me going back and listening to it, that's probably not going to happen.
Right.
Will I
It's definitely not your wheelhouse.
will I end up hearing it once I buy it for my wife? Probably. Is it going to bother me? Probably not. You know what I mean? I could tolerate it. It's just not my cup of tea. And once again, I mean, what's on here is there's a lot of good stuff on here, man, but it's a 7, dude. That's a
Okay.
7. That's a 7, man.
All right. Take
All
it to
right.
the bank.
Happy 50th episode.
You too, my friend.
Happy 50th
It's been a great
episode.
ride.
It's been a great run. So let's wrap this thing up with the albums we're getting next week.
Yes, sir.
So I have made this a little bit more apparent to you earlier tonight. You
Mhm.
are going to get Sleep's Holy Mountain. I know that listen to some of the stoner doom thing isn't your big thing, but
Mhm.
I think this is a phenomenal album. Phenomenal album. Um, whether you're into this style of music or not. Um, but the name of the album is Holy Mountain. The name of the band is Sleep. I hope
Okay.
you enjoy.
Thank you. Thank you. And you, my friend, I'm giving you something a little different. Is by one of your favorite artists, and it is a byproduct, if you would, of one of your favorite albums by this artist. And it is
Don't be gay.
The Village People. No, Tom Petty. It's called Finding Wallflowers. It's the alternate versions of a lot of the Wallflowers album, with some extra things. I think there's 16 tracks on this. Um, and then the version I have is on beautiful gold vinyl. Look at that. Look at that. It's beautiful. So good.
Nice.
Yeah.
Tom Petty, Finding Wallflowers.
It's alternate versions of that album. Really want to know what you think. I know that Wallflowers is both one of both of our favorite Petty albums, and I would love your input on some of the nuances in there and some of the songs that weren't on there.
Okay. All right. Well, that
Sweet.
sounds like we've set ourselves up for next week.
Yes, sir.
First,
Tone.
ladies and gentlemen, once again, if you like what you see here, hit that bell down below, like, comment, subscribe. You can catch us on all your favorite podcast streaming services. Just thank you so much for staying with us. It's been 50 fun episodes. We hope to continue to bring you another 50. We'll start making plans for the season finale, which should be coming before too long. So any suggestions on what you would like to see us discuss as far as a season finale goes? Scott, I was speaking with him the other day from Summit for the People, and he's got another project going on. I can't remember what they're calling themselves, but anyways, he come by to pick up a couple amps, and he was explaining to me that he had talked to you about some way of comparison of the Misfits and Kiss.
Okay.
I said, man, that would be a bit of a great discussion, considering there's just both bands have had a lot of drama, you know what I mean? And they've been around since, the 70s.
Mm-hmm.
So I thought, maybe we'll discuss that or whatnot.
Yeah, we'll flesh out some topics, see if it makes sense, and we'll go from there.
All righty. Well,
All
thanks again,
right.
folks, for tuning in. I'm Tone. That's Bruce. Bruce, you got anything else for us?
Uh, just piggyback on what you said. Thanks, guys. We appreciate it. And we will see you next week.
All right. See you guys next week.
See ya.
Take care. See ya.